Hello, everyone. Welcome to the club. I'm Philip Landers.
And I'm Caden Burrow.
And we're excited to have you join us for our first ever show that we take a look at our sports programs with here at Cave City High School and some extracurricular activities. And it's going to be a lot of fun as we come to you every little so often here on Facebook Live and Cave City Channel 6. And we're going to take a look at our sports programs as we're in our second week of school now. And Caden, let's get a start by talking about football.
Well, they played at Mark Tree. They played scrimmage jamboree, which is kind of like where all the teams play each other. I'll get a turn. That was August 18th. Cave City played 3 games. They played Earl, Manila, and Mark Tree. The first game they tied with Manila 13-all. They lost 6-7 in their second game to Mark Tree. They had 2 turnovers, which really cost them the game. And then Earl beat Cave City in a blowout in their final game. Here's a little bit of news. The first senior high game at Clinton has an 8 p.m. start time due to all the heat.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to play that game after the sun gets below the tree line. Should be a lot better for those players and for the fans. There'll be hydration breaks for the players, and we hope our spectators take one as well. Safety first. Kickoff coming up at 8, and that will be right on our, right here, I should say, but it's on Caveman Radio 89.9. Justin Wilson and Jonathan Fowler will have the call on that. For our golf highlights, we're going to let you guys wait until our next segment. We will have golf coach Stu Smart and senior Jessie Stauffer on the hot seat to talk golf coming up in just a bit. So let's turn our attention to tennis.
Well, Cave City versus Tuckerman, we came away with all wins in the singles department. Cam Fowler, Allie Crockett, Josh Linnell, and John Payton all came away with wins. Doubles was also pretty much all wins. We had Miley Walker and Rachel Ballard combo for a win. We had Elijah Beller and Hayden Herndon, along with Braxton Trago, Newt Caraway, and then Liam Smith and John Payton. In a close match, Ithaca Bacon and Josh Linnell were edged out by a close one, a score of 7-6. They lost the tiebreaker as well. Move on to Cave City versus Pickett. Singles, how to win. That was Cambria Fowler that came away with it. And doubles, also a win. Braxton Trago and Newt Caraway with a 7-6 victory. Coach Emma says it was great to see so much support for her players. For the first match, the team performed well. She is predominantly saying that the team is young, so seeing the players go out and compete with such confidence despite having a lack of experience, so to say, is very promising.
Saw Coach Amos earlier today here at school and talking about the heat, and it's affecting all our sports programs and a lot of limits set by the AAA statewide this week, as you all know. And she said standing on a tennis court is 15 degrees hotter than standing on grass, for example. So, boy, and if you've ever played tennis, you know that already. You can feel that coming through your shoes. Taking a look at cross country, they're idle this week. Brittany Mahan is back. She placed 15th at the state cross country meet last year. She's the indoor state 2-mile champion from last year, the outdoor state 2-mile runner-up. She earned all-state honors in track and field last spring. Also, Aubrey Milligan from junior high will be moving up at the end of the season for senior high, and she set the junior high 1.5-mile record last year. Coach Haling says we have a small team this year, but they have a lot of potential on an individual level as our girls look to set some lofty goals. Let's talk volleyball.
Well, we have new coaches this year.
Yes, we do.
Coach Kelsey Steed is a new head coach, and the former archery coach, Miss Misty Bacon.
She's the bus driver, too, by the way.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Coach Steed is a Cave City volleyball alumnus, and they played Melbourne Monday in a non-conference game. Coach Steed said her outlook on the season, that is, she thinks that her players can beat anyone if they put their mind to it. Also says both teams are well coordinated and work very well and hard together.
Also had a road game against Pocahontas, late headline for us there. And 7th grade 1, junior high, senior high came up a little bit short. And these early games get you ready for conference play for sure. All right, so we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'll be joined on the hot seat by golf coach Stu Smart and by senior golfer Jessie Stauffer. That's coming up here on the club in just a moment.
My name is Brandon Handling, and I am the coordinator for Cable Channel 6. Did you know that you could have your ad for your business fill this space right here? That's right. We are seeking sponsorships for our sports broadcasts as well as our new sports show, The Club. Here at Cable Channel 6, we produce and air content for your business. We're here to help serve our community, and this also gives our students the valuable opportunity to experience on-the-job training through our school program. Any money you donate through a sponsorship will go back to support our students in our media and broadcasting programs. We also offer advertising opportunities through our community access slideshow that airs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If your business is interested in any of these opportunities, please give us a call at 870-283-3309. That number again is 870-283-3309.
Welcome back. We're in the hot seat here with Cave City head golf coach Stu Smart and one of our senior golfers this year, Jessie Stauffer, and appreciate you guys giving us some time today. Coach, let's start with you and give us some of your thoughts on how the golf program looks this year.
You know, we've already started golf. We've had a couple of matches. We've got all 5 girls back from last year with 2 girls who qualified for the state tournament. So we're looking to make a run as a team this year. Boys, we've got 6 boys coming back this year. We've fared pretty well so far in the first couple of matches.
So what would some of those highlights be from your early matches?
I think we finished 3rd in our Izard County tournament that we've had 2-day tournament at Izard County. One day's at Turkey Mountain and the other day's at Cherokee South. I think, pretty sure both teams, maybe the girls finished 3rd as well. I think both teams finished 3rd. So, you know, that's the first tournament of the year, kind of the first match for some of our freshman golfers. And, you know, it's always funny to see them out there on the first match of the year.
Without question. However, would you find it easier playing the second day when you play 2 days in a row?
In my opinion, my first day is always better than my second day, but it varies for different players.
Okay. So I play one day and then I need a week to recover. So that's why I'm at. That's a great answer. So when we talk about setting up a high school golf program, what are some of the steps you go through? I mean, to make sure you got the equipment. How much equipment do we need for each of our students, and how do we get that and getting that program lined up?
You know, most of the way we recruit our players is by word of mouth. You know, they'll tell their buddies, and the only thing that they're really required to have is their own golf clubs. And we've got some that we can throw together for them, but you know, we supply golf bags for them. We try to start out with some golf balls throughout the year for them, but you know, they lose them pretty quick at the beginning, and then they're on their own after that. But
okay. So how would you rate your season so far, Jessie?
So far, it's been pretty good. It's not been my best play since matches started, but practices throughout the summer was really good. And then getting into matches is always difficult because you're starting to play with other people and it's a little more competitive. So it makes you think a little more about your play. But once you get into it, it starts going great.
And I would imagine you practice, you're used to a certain pace of play, and then in a tournament, I would guess it probably slows down naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So how do we cope with that when you find yourself waiting for somebody to get off the green ahead of you? What do you do?
Usually I'm in the first group, so I don't have to wait so much.
Okay.
But it is hard if you play behind the last group of boys because you do have to learn how to be a lot more patient and be able to take your time other than just going faster and just getting it done, playing through. You have to be able to slow your mind down and slow the way you move. Just get it better.
Wow, that's a great answer. Anyone who's played golf will tell you I'm better at this part of the game than I am that part of the game. When you look at your teams, what would you say are some of their strengths?
Well, most of their strengths they like to drive the ball off the tee the best because that seems like they practice that the most. You know, it's fun to hit the ball a long ways or at least try. One of the biggest things that we struggle with, and I try to make it a point at every practice this year to spend a little more time on the putting green. I mean, if we will eliminate some of our 3 or 4 putts, you know, your scores instantly start getting better. But it's not fun to practice putting, and I have a hard time with them to make them get out there and work on it. But I mean, that's the biggest thing I think for a high school golfer. If they can learn how to putt a little bit and eliminate 3 putts, then they've got a chance to score really well.
I think the old saying is drive for show. What's the rest?
Oh, yeah.
Putt for dough.
Putt for
Putt for
dough.
dough.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
where you make your money is on the green. Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So, someone who hasn't played a lot, how would you describe that sport to them?
It's even though we have team score, it's an individual sport. You got to get out there and it's basically you against the course. It's not really you against another player. It's how well you can play on that course. So, I mean, you control everything about the golf match. I know that first tournament we use cards. You hit a bad shot, you drive right up next to it, and that bad shot's still in the back of your mind. When we most matches we walk, so they have a little time to forget about that bad shot. So that's what I like about when we have to walk. They get to think about their next shot, and hopefully they're thinking about what they're going to do with their next shot, and the best way to approach it.
Okay, Jessie, do you have something you like to do before a match to get yourself ready? Do you have a routine? Do you have your superstitious habits?
No, not really. I just kind of go hit the ball.
Okay. Oh, you just show
Yeah.
and go.
Hope it goes.
Okay. How would you say you practice differently than you play? Is there something you do in practice because it's practice that you wouldn't do in a match?
I don't take it as serious at practice.
Okay.
It's kind of more of a fun thing because it's not competitive. But when you hit the matches, it's a lot more competitive, and so you gotta wrap your mind around being competitive and not goofing off.
Okay. Have you ever used a foot wedge?
I don't think I
That's
know
a
what
new
that
term.
is.
You know what a foot wedge is. A foot wedge is when you don't like where the ball is and you take your foot and you cheat a little bit. You've never done
I
that.
haven't cheated,
You have
no.
never used a foot wedge ever in your life. And look into the camera now if you want to. No?
No,
Well,
I
we're
haven't.
pretty fortunate now. We get to play the ball up a little bit, so at least they get to, improve their lie a little bit. We don't have
Right.
to play the ball down just very, very often.
Well, in Arkansas, some of these courses are pretty rocky,
Mhm.
and you can do injury to yourself if you're trying to hit off of a wrong spot. And so certainly we often want to place a ball, and so that's fantastic. So it's called the foot wedge, right?
have
It's a
to use it.
secret
Yeah, don't
club.
try- don't
You-
try that.
yeah, no. Practice when he's not looking. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, hey, we thank you guys so much. What would you like to folks to know? Talk about if they wanted to come out and watch. What's the rules around spectators for your tournament?
Spectators are allowed. They even let them rent the carts to follow around and watch.
Great.
They've got to stay back. They're not supposed to have any interaction with the golfers. We're very fortunate this year. Our district is going to be at Cooper's Hawk in Melbourne. That's our home course, so we're looking forward to getting out there and competing in the district and getting ourselves a chance to get to the state level. And the girls' state golf tournament's actually at Cooper's Hawk in this year, so
Okay.
if we
Nice
can
and close.
nice
home
and close.
Field.
And the boys is at Glenwood, which is, I believe, just a little south of Hot Springs.
Okay. Let's talk just for a second about our local golf partners. These courses really make this possible for our kids, and we appreciate them, I know.
Cooper's Hawk's always been really good to work with. They've worked in Cave City for several years. We go to Turkey Mountain, Horseshoe Bend, and they like young people coming to golf. They like to see us get out there and use these courses, and golf's something you can do for the rest of your life.
That's a great point. Some sports, you play for a while, and high school's over. Maybe you don't play, but golf, you can play for as long as you can get up and swing a club.
Right.
And it's a wonderful sport, and we are so happy to have that program at our school. Best of luck to you guys for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, that's the hot seat, and they're ready to get out of it, I think. We'll come back. Kate and I will join you after this break.
Remember when you taught me how to ride a bike? Now I can't because I have chronic bronchitis. What about when I used to be around Grandma when she used to smoke? And now I have heart disease. When my friends pressured me to use e-cigarettes, they don't trust me or like me anymore.
Remember when I taught you how to do this?
For more information, follow Project Prevent on Facebook and Instagram at Project Prevent AR.
Welcome back to the club. I'm Caden Burrow.
Philip Landers back with you.
This is going to be wrapping up our segment here. We're going to be looking at our sports schedule for the weeks ahead. Let's jump into football.
Senior football actually starting with 2 road games tonight, of course, at Clinton, if you're watching this on Friday night. Next Friday, They're playing at Walnut Ridge. That would be September 1st. 7 p.m. kickoff for that one. We need a big crowd over there in Lawrence County. Take your off. Take your bug spray. Okay. Friday the 8th is our home opener. Melbourne will be here. It's going to be one of the biggest crowds of the year. Super great rivalry there. And, boy, everybody will be fired up for that one.
Oh, you bet. We always love good rivalries. We want good, close games, and we want to come out on top. Let's head to cross country. The first meet is on Tuesday, August 29th at Lyon College. First race begins at 4:30, followed by the Bearcats Open on Tuesday, September 5th, hosted by Melbourne. This is the conference championship preview meet where the runners will get a chance to become familiar with the course before the conference championships in October. Races begin at 4:15. The meet is at Melbourne High School. Admission is free for all cross-country meets. Let's head over to golf.
All right, golf will be playing at Cooper's Hawk in Melbourne on August 28th at 1 p.m. Then they'll shift over to Turkey Mountain Golf Course in Horseshoe Bend on August 31st with a start time of 3:30. Then they'll return to Cooper's Hawk Golf Course on September 5th at 3:30 p.m. And then finally a match at Cherokee South Golf Course on September the 7th at 3 p.m. So if you can get out and support our golf teams, in great places to go hang out and watch some golf. Let's talk tennis schedule.
Tennis will have 3 matches in the upcoming weeks. First, they'll play home against Tuckerman at 3:30, at Lyon College against Batesville on Southside on the 29th at 3:30 as well, and then at Corning on September 7th at 3:30 p.m. How about volleyball?
Volleyball will be busy. 5 matches between now and September 8th. They will be at Heber Springs on August 28th at 4:30. Home games against Hoxie on August 29th, and then against Newport on August 31st. Those all start at 4:30. Then they travel to Midland on September 5th, another 4:30 start. And then they'll be at Crowley's Ridge on September 7th, starting at 4:30. Classically, 7th grade starts at 7 or at 4:30. 7th grade at 4:30.
And then we'll head into senior high. Well, that wraps it up. Our next episode airs on Friday, September 8th, 5:30. Next time we will be featuring the Cave City Tennis program as we invite head coach Nikki Amos for an interview.
Also want to remind you, of course, that Cave City High School football will be carried live on Caveman Radio 89.9 and Cable Channel 6 and our Cave City Facebook Athletics page. And so wherever you catch those games or our show, we thank you so much for tuning in. And that's going to do it for our first episode of The Club. I'm Philip Landers.
And I'm Caden Burrow.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.